Ciao e benvenuti! In this lesson, we keep exploring the present tense of Italian regular verbs by focusing on verbs ending in ERE. A worksheet with the exercise included in this video, plus an extra exercise, is available to download. Please check the description box for the link to the PDF file. Let's start by mentioning some of the most common regular verbs ending in ERE. Cadere, chiedere, chiudere, correre, mettere, premere, prendere, ridere, ripetere, rispondere, scrivere, vedere. Now we turn to the conjugation of the present indicative of the verbs belonging to this group by looking first of all at their endings. The singular endings are o for the first person, I for the second person informal, and e for the second person formal and for the third person. The plural endings are iamo for the first person, ete for the second person, and ono for the third person. As you can see, the present indicative singular endings o and I and the plural ending iamo are the same as those of verbs ending in are, the first group of verbs we introduced in the previous lesson. Now let's conjugate a couple of the regular verbs we've mentioned earlier so you can have some examples to follow when practicing. We start with verb correre, to run. As we have done for the first group of verbs ending in are, to conjugate verbs in ERE, we first get the verb stem by removing the infinitive ERE ending. In the case of correre, the verb stem is cor. Now, to get the conjugated forms, we add the endings for the present indicative. So we have io corro, tu corri, lei corre, lui corre, lei corre, noi corriamo, voi correte, loro corrono. Now let's conjugate verb vedere, to see. We start from the stem, ved, then add the endings for the present indicative. Io vedo, tu vedi, lei vede, lui vede, lei vede, noi vediamo, voi vedete, loro vedono. Verbs ending in gere like leggere, to read, and cere like vincere, to win, are conjugated as other regular verbs of the second group. However, they present some sound changes in the conjugated forms of the first person singular io and the third person plural loro. To explain these irregularities, let's conjugate these two verbs. Starting with leggere, to read, we get to the verb root legg in the usual way, by removing the ere ending from the infinitive. Then we add the regular endings of the second verb group and we get io leggo, tu leggi, lei legge, lui legge, lei legge, noi leggiamo, voi leggete, loro leggono. Before commenting on the sound changes happening here, let's also conjugate the other verb, vincere, to win. Adding the regular endings to the root vinc, we get io vinco, tu vinci, lei vince, lui vince, lei vince, noi vinciamo, voi vincete, loro vincono. Have you noticed that not all of these conjugated forms are pronounced in the same way? What happens here is that whereas in most of the conjugated forms of both verbs the last consonant or consonants of the stem have a soft sound, g for leggere and ch for vincere, in the conjugated forms of the first person singular and third person plural, the root changes sound. So G is pronounced as hard G in the forms io leggo and loro leggono, and Ch is pronounced as hard K in the forms io vinco and loro vincono. This is due to Italian sound combination rules whereby when consonants C and G are followed by vowels A, U or O as in this case, they sound as hard K and G. If you need to refresh your knowledge of Italian sound pronunciation system, then check out my lessons on the Italian alphabet and sounds. Now follow the example in the first row and then write down the present tense forms of the regular verbs ending in ERE listed below. You can pause the video to do this exercise and then resume it to check the answers. You can also use the worksheet linked in the description box. There you will also find a second exercise. Answers to both exercises are available in the description box. And that's all for this lesson. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Grazie e arrivederci!